Brand wars. Coke versus Pepsi. First, we're going to look at the money, and Pepsi actually makes more than Coke. So Pepsi's revenue is $65 billion a year, while Coke's is just 30. Health. Well, both drinks are quite unhealthy. Coke actually has slightly less sugar and slightly less caffeine. Popularity. So Pepsi is sold in more than 70 countries around the globe, but Coke is sold in every single country, aside from Cuba and North Korea. Taste. While most people say that Coke tastes better, in blind tasting, so when you cover up the logos, people actually overwhelmingly prefer Pepsi as the better cola. This is known as the Pepsi paradox. Availability. When it comes to restaurants, they can either sell Coke or Pepsi. McDonald's, Subway, Burger King, Domino's, and Chipotle, KFC, Taco Bell, and Papa John's. Can I get a Coca-Cola?
We don't have Coca-Cola, we have a first hand.
It goes to Coke. Celebrities. So this one probably goes to Pepsi because of Beyonce. Brand wars. McDonald's versus Burger King. Money. Not only McDonald's is 20% cheaper for the consumer, it's also the second most valuable restaurant chain in the world after Starbucks. Quality of service. Make it a meal. Can I get a Whopper meal, please? While McDonald's was more efficient with robots taking your orders, Burger King had the human touch and we actually waited much less. Ads. While McDonald's spends 10 times more on advertising, Burger King is creative with less money. For example, take that ad where they advertise a moldy Whopper showing that it has no artificial preservatives. Celebrities. While Burger King is endorsed by David Beckham, Andy Warhol, and Kanye West, McDonald's has Travis Scott, BTS, and Michael Jordan. Taste. In a consumer survey that looked at burgers across all of fast food chains, Burger King's Whopper actually won as the tastiest burger. Burger King wins. Brand wars. Dunkin' Donuts versus Krispy Kreme. Dunkin' Donuts has the revenue of $1.3 billion. That's 3 times more than Krispy Kreme. The original recipe of Krispy Kreme glazed donut has been the same for 80 years and remains a trade secret. Donuts are pretty unhealthy in general, but the Krispy Kreme one has 190 calories, while Dunkin' has 260. Krispy Kreme is endorsed by Obama, Shaquille O'Neal, and Blackpink, but Dunkin' has Snoop Dogg, LeBron James, and Charli D'Amelio. Dunkin' Donuts has 13,000 locations around the globe. That's 10 times more than Krispy Kreme. In terms of taste, Krispy Kreme was voted to be the best donut in America because it's light, crunchy on the outside, but soft on the inside. Dunkin' logo is more minimalist and versatile, but Krispy Kreme is more iconic and it actually spells donut correctly, so Krispy Kreme wins. Food wars. Pizza versus burger. 2.3 billion burgers are sold around the world in 1 year, but the number for pizza is 5 billion a year, so pizza wins. While for the same product weight, burgers are higher in fats and cholesterol, they're also higher in calcium and protein. A burger was invented 150 years ago when someone put a meatball in between 2 buns, but pizza was invented by Greeks 2,700 years ago. The most expensive burger, Golden Boy, was sold in Netherlands for 5,000 euros, but the most expensive pizza, called Louis XIII, was sold for $12,000 and took 72 hours to make. Between the two, celebrities that prefer pizza are The Rock, Zendaya, and Justin Bieber, and celebrities who prefer burgers are Barack Obama, Kendall Jenner, and Marilyn Monroe. Taste test. Burger wins. Pizza can taste okay the next morning, but a lady in the US has preserved a burger for 20 years and it looks completely intact, so burgers win. Food wars. Doritos versus Pringles. Pringles generate $250 million a year in sales, while Doritos make $1.5 billion. Both products have around the same number of calories, but Doritos are made from genetically modified corn that is linked to inflammation and reproductive issues. Doritos are endorsed by Peter Dinklage, Jennifer Lawrence, and Post Malone, while Pringles are endorsed by Bill Harder, Ollie Murs, and Brad Pitt. Taste test. Pringles win. Pringles has 29 flavors including pumpkin spice pie, but Doritos has more than 102 flavors around the globe, including sausage and beer and seaweed. The name Doritos is Spanish and it means little golden things, while Pringles were named after a random street that starts with a P. Sure, Doritos packaging is made of plastic, but Pringles is known as the #1 recycling villain because it's made of cardboard, has metal base, foil, and a plastic lid, so Doritos win. Brand wars. Red Bull versus Monster. Red Bull makes $6 billion a year, that's 1.4 billion more than Monster. Both drinks are horrible for you, but Monster has 10 milligrams more of caffeine and a little bit more sugar. Red Bull is endorsed by Neymar, Ninja and Max Verstappen, while Monster is endorsed by Conor McGregor, Post Malone and Tiger Woods. Monster logo is meant to symbolize the letter M and the claws of a beast, while Red Bull logo actually represents two Thai Muay Thai fighters and a rising sun at the back. Red Bull has just 16 flavors, while Monster has more variety with 34 flavors. Red Bull's iconic slogan is Red Bull gives you wings, while Monster has unleashed the beast. That is kind of meh, but at least it wasn't sued for false advertising like Red Bull that had to pay $13 million to American customers who thought that Red Bull would give them wings. Red Bull has 2 Formula 1 teams, but Monster has the GOAT, so Monster wins. Brand Wars Chocolate Bar Edition. The best seller is Snickers with 400 million chocolate bars sold every year. Twix is the healthiest bar with just 24 grams of sugar per pack. Snickers was launched in 1930, making it the oldest chocolate bar. As other chocolate bars melted too quickly while being transported, M&M's was invented exclusively for American soldiers during World War II. The Mars bar has the highest percentage of actual chocolate included in the bar. The Left Twix, Right Twix ad is considered one of the most impactful ads in the industry. M&M's has the most physical presence due to M&M's world stores in big cities. Worldwide, Mars is known as Milky Way, and in the UK, Snickers used to be Marathon. You can guess why. All of these brands have the same owner, Mars Corporation, so it's a tie. Twix is endorsed by Usher, M&M's by Danny DeVito, but Snickers has Elton John, so Snickers wins. Brand Wars, Stillwater versus Sparkling. Worldwide, 63% of people prefer still water, 37% sparkling. Sparkling water hydrates you just as well. It might erode your teeth, but Japanese researchers found that it's associated with weight loss. The most expensive water in the world is still water called Acqua di Cristallo that costs $99,000 per bottle, which is made of 24 karat gold that improves the alkalinity of the water. No comment. Now I think still water is the best marketed product of all time because they literally take water from your tap, put it in cans or bottles and sell it back to you. Still water is endorsed by Jennifer Aniston, The Rock and Lizzo, while sparkling water is endorsed by Gordon Ramsay, Stanley Tucci and Mariah Carey. Now I'm gonna test the speed of hydration. This stings. So still water is the winner. Brand Wars, tea versus coffee. While people prefer coffee to tea in North and South America, Europe and the UK, tea is actually the second most popular drink on the planet after water. Taste test. Okay, we've established that you have to brew them first, but once you do that, coffee is better. Tea contains a chemical that gives you more sustained energy throughout the day, but coffee gives you immediate energy right now. Iced versions. I see superior. Tea brands are endorsed by Kylie Jenner, Hugh Jackman and Sean Bean, while coffee brands have Taylor Swift, Brad Pitt and Ariana Grande. The most expensive coffee is the Black Ivory coffee that costs around $1,500 per pound. The most expensive tea is Da Hong Pao tea that costs $1.2 million per kilo and is considered a national treasure in China. Coffee was discovered 1,000 years ago in Ethiopia, but tea was discovered 3,000 years ago when a tea leaf fell into a Chinese emperor's boiled water, so tea wins. Brand Wars, chicken versus steak. The most widely consumed meat in the world is actually pork, but number 2 is chicken. Chicken was first consumed in Israel more than 2,000 years ago, but consuming meat dates back to 2.6 million years. Yes, beef has a few beneficial nutrients such as iron and zinc, but chicken has less saturated fat and less cholesterol. Both of these are not amazing for the environment, but beef actually produces 4 to 8 times more emissions than chicken. Taste test. I'm just kidding. Beef. But very much unlike chicken, beef actually can be eaten raw. Damn. Snoop Dogg, Bill Gates and Cristiano Ronaldo love chicken, but beef is endorsed by Sean Penn, who loves steak so much he almost named his son Steak, Joe Rogan and Donald Trump, so chicken wins. Brand Wars, Evian versus Fiji. Evian's revenue is $26 billion and is part of the Danone Group, while Fiji's revenue is just $46 million. Fiji was endorsed by Barack Obama, Donald Trump and Kim Kardashian, while Evian has Gigi Hadid, Dua Lipa and Virgil Abloh. Swiss researchers found banned pesticide chlorothalonil in Evian water, but Fiji refuses to pay some of the taxes to Fiji government even though 12% of Fiji inhabitants don't have access to clean water. Evian has a pretty basic logo and weirdly it spells naive backwards. I think Fiji water bottle is much more stylish and actually costs more to produce because it's square. Evian had a cool campaign with Serena Williams when they filled her bath with $5,000 worth of Evian water, but that campaign of Fiji at the Golden Globes with the Fiji girl photobombing celebrities is the most creative thing I've seen in a while. It's a draw, so you guys are gonna choose the winner. Subscribe to vote in the next Brand Wars, but now the winner is Evian. Brand Wars. Milka versus Rittersport. Rittersport makes $500 million a year, but Milka makes $2 billion, and it's owned by Mondelez International that owns all of these brands. Milka's purple cow is really iconic, and the lilac packaging is actually trademarked in Europe, so no other chocolate can come in lilac packaging. Rittersport managed to trademark square packaging, and it snaps open like this, so Rittersport wins. Taste test. Second one. Rittersport wins. Rittersport was founded in 1912 by a German married couple as chocolate bar that can fit into a pocket of your jacket. Milka was founded in late 19th century and is actually the first milk chocolate to be packaged, so Milka wins. All the milk used to produce Milka chocolate comes from the same 60-mile radius in Switzerland, but Rittersports runs completely on renewable energy. Wins. Rittersports has 37 different flavors globally, but Milka has 51, including the Milka Philadelphia. 7% of Rittersports revenue comes from Russia, and actually both brands haven't left the Russian market in response to Russian invasion of Ukraine, so they both lose, and the winner is Kit Kat because Nestlé left Russia. Brand Wars. Lay's versus Cheetos. Both brands bring in around $4 billion a year, but they're actually owned by the same company, Frito-Lay, that is in turn owned by PepsiCo, so it's a draw here. Cheetos are called after its mascot, and the name is the same pretty much anywhere. Lay's are actually named after the founder, Mr. Lay, and in different countries they have different names. For example, Walkers in the UK or Smiths in Australia. Taste test. Okay. Cheetos win the taste test. There are 21 different flavors for Cheetos around the world, including Pepsi-flavored Cheetos in Japan, but Lay's actually has more than 200 varieties, including the cappuccino taste. Cheetos janitor actually invented the flaming hot Cheetos to respond to the taste of Hispanic Americans who like things a little bit spicier. Then he became one of the leaders at the company. Lay's were advertised by Seth Rogen, Paul Rudd, and Messi, but Cheetos were advertised by Megan Thee Stallion, Ashton Kutcher, and a fellow Ukrainian Mila Kunis, who has raised more than $35 million for Ukraine, so Cheetos win. Brand Wars. Colgate versus Oral-B. Oral-B is part of the Procter & Gamble group, but its actual revenue is just $70 million. The revenue of Colgate, though, is $17 billion. Both are American brands, but Oral-B was launched in 1950s, while Colgate was launched by Mr. Colgate in 1806, initially selling perfumes, then being the first company to sell toothpaste in tubes. Colgate was endorsed by Michael Phelps, One Direction, and Chiara Advani, but Oral-B has Ryan Reynolds, Giselle Bündchen, and Holly Berry. Taste test. This one. Colgate wins. According to dentists, the best toothpaste is Colgate Renewal, but the best toothbrush is actually electric toothbrush by Oral-B that I happen to be using, so it's a draw here. Oral-B means oral brush. Colgate just comes from Mr. Colgate, but in Argentinian Spanish, Colgate means go hang yourself, so Oral-B wins here, but Colgate is the winner overall. Brand Wars. Salt versus pepper. Global pepper market is valued at $4.1 billion, but global salt market is valued at $28.5 billion. World's most expensive salt is Korean bamboo salt. It costs $400 per kilo, but the most expensive pepper is Ají Yarapita Peruvian pepper that costs $25,000 per kilo. Taste test. That's too much.
Are you ready?
No. After careful consideration, pepper wins. Only 4 tablespoons of salt will kill you, but the sodium that salt contains is literally essential for us to live, so salt wins. Humans started consuming pepper 6,000 years ago in what is now Bahamas, but actually the first salt factory dates back to 8,000 years ago in Romania. There's just 12 types of salt, but there is 600 types of peppers used as spices. In Middle Ages, pepper was worth more than silver pound for pound, but actually the word salary comes from salt because Roman soldiers were paid in salt, and those monthly payments were called salarium, so salt wins. Brand Wars. Ketchup versus mayo. Global mayo market is valued at $12 billion, but global ketchup market is valued at 18. Guacamole is actually the most popular condiment in the world, but if you compare these two, mayo takes the win, being the most popular one in Ukraine, France, and Turkey. Heinz ketchup ad featured Matt LeBlanc. Ed Sheeran has a tattoo of Heinz on his arm, and Queen Elizabeth II has her own ketchup brand. But mayo was endorsed by Amy Schumer, Meghan Markle, and Pete Davidson. Taste test. It's actually good on its own.
No, more.
Don't like. Easy win for mayo. The most expensive mayo is this Japanese Kewpie mayo, but the most expensive ketchup is the limited edition Heinz featuring Ed Sheeran's tattoo. Mayo was invented by a French chef in mid-18th century. Ketchup dates back to 2,300 years ago, was invented in China, was called ketchup, and initially didn't contain any tomatoes because they were considered poisonous. Mayo contains 99 calories per tablespoon. Ketchup has only 20, so it's much healthier for you, meaning ketchup wins.